What's up, YouTube? So I want to come through and talk about Black unemployment rates compared across race and ethnicity. So basically I want to compare Black unemployment rates to other racial and ethnic groups. And I got this information and this chart from the Bureau of Labor Statistics report called Labor Force Characteristics by Race and Ethnicity 2017. The information is slightly dated, but nevertheless, I think it provides some great information. Before I get into the analysis, I just want to talk about how they were able to get this data. The data was obtained, or rather, the data were obtained from the Current Population Survey, CPS, a monthly survey of about 60,000 households that is a rich source of information on the labor force. As well, the statistics based on CPS are subject to both sampling error and non-sampling error. When a sample rather than an entire population is surveyed, there's a chance that the sample estimate may differ from the true population values they represent. That's because they're using a statistical model instead of surveying the whole entire nation. They're surveying a group that is representative, or that they feel is representative of the U.S. population, and use a statistical model to enhance the scope. And of course, unemployed is defined as people who had no employment during the reference week, were available for work except if they had a temporary illness, and had made specific efforts to find employment during the 4-week period ending with the reference week. People who were waiting to be recalled to a job from which they had been laid off need not have been looking for work to be classified as unemployed. And unemployment rate is, this rate is the number of unemployed as a percentage of the civilian labor force. All right, so with all that being said, let's get into this, okay? So jobless rates varied considerably by race and ethnicity, okay? We can see the total, and then we see the breakdown of each race and ethnic group, all right? So American Indians and Alaskan Natives had the highest rates of unemployment at 7.8%. All right. Next was Black people at 7.5%. And on the other hand, the unemployment rate was lowest for Asian people at 3.4%. Jobless rates were 3.8% for white people on the lower side, and 6.1% for Native Hawaiians and other Pacific Islanders. All right. 6.7% for individuals of 2 or more races, and 5.1% for Hispanics. So do these unemployment rates surprise you at all? Did you expect them to be a little different? Did you expect them to be how you see them now? What do you think? And I do want to mention here that when it comes to Black people, African American people have historically and presently had the highest rate of unemployment among racial and ethnic groups historically. And even with civil rights legislation and laws and affirmative action, companies diversifying their workforce, programs and organizations to help with learning and helping African Americans obtain employment as well as scholarships. Still, African Americans often have the highest rates of unemployment. Why is that? Because this data here is from after civil rights laws passed. Now, if this data was prior to, it would make more sense. But this data, it's, why do you think that is? Because we all know that there is a history of oppression and discrimination against African Americans in the United States, as far as slavery and then after slavery ended, being systemically and structurally locked out of just certain occupations, you know, as well as locked out of certain educational institutions, you know, very much having to deal with discrimination on a large level. But it seems like this legacy, you know, this ugly legacy still continues, you know, in one form or another. But I wanted to share this information with you guys, you know, just to get your opinions and see what you guys think about this. I think this is definitely good information to know. May be a little bit random, but nevertheless, great information to know. But let me know what you think in the comments section, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, adios and goodbye for now.